It's your girl, Mrs. Tony, 2 times, and I'm back with another episode of Hood Tales. In this video, let's take it to Milwaukee, Wisconsin to discuss a case of a woman who claimed it was a robbery when her ex lost his life, but jail calls exposed her plot to get rid of him. But before we get into this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss any future uploads. Stay tuned until the end to hear the full story. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. To the outside world, 25-year-old Ashanti Davis was a young woman navigating life in Milwaukee, probably looking for connections, and seemed to be driven by intense desires for her future. She may have come off fiercely determined, especially when she set her sights on something or someone she wanted. But beneath that probable passionate exterior lies a dangerous level of obsession. Some could say that when Ashanti cared about you, she cared with an intensity that could quickly become overwhelming, blurring the lines between deep affection and complete control. That intense energy and obsession may have found its focus when Ashanti met Bernell Hall. In the beginning, their connection was instant. They fell into a whirlwind romance that felt incredibly risky from the very start. Ashanti became deeply consumed by the relationship to the point where she became utterly fixated on one specific future. She was obsessed with the idea of having a child with Bernell, viewing it as the ultimate way to bind him to her forever. But who was Bernell Hall? To those who truly knew him, Bernell was a 29-year-old father who absolutely adored his children. He was a family man at heart, someone who hoped that he could provide a genuinely good life for himself and his loved ones. Now, Bernell wasn't perfect. He had faced his own struggles and had actually spent some time away in a correctional facility. He had only been back home for a few months by the end of summer 2024, treating it as a fresh start to focus on being the best father he could be. He was deeply loved by those around him for his warmth and his dedication to his kids. Because Bernell's family loved him so much, they kept a very close eye on his inner circle, and they quickly noticed that something was incredibly off with Ashanti. His mother saw the warning signs early on. Ashanti's behavior didn't look like healthy love. It looked like a dangerous fixation. Bernell's mother actually sat him down about 9 months prior to things taking a turn and gave him some heavy advice. She told him explicitly that he needed to stop communicating with her, warning him that Ashanti wasn't right and that staying in her orbit was eventually going to get him badly hurt. But as many of us know, leaving a toxic situation is sometimes easier said than done. Bernell and Ashanti fell into a classic, exhausting, on-again, off-again cycle. They would break up, stay apart for a little while, and then somehow find themselves drawn right back into each other's space. It was a roller coaster of highs and lows that kept them entangled, even when it was clear to everyone else that the relationship had run its course. Eventually, the roller coaster seemed to hit its final stop. The two broke up and both appeared to be moving on with their lives. Bernell found a new girlfriend and the two were happily expecting a new baby together. Bernell was focused on this next chapter of fatherhood. Ashanti, meanwhile, started dating someone new as well. However, her new romantic partner happened to be an inmate serving time at the Racine Correctional Institution. Despite the physical distance, Ashanti stayed in regular contact with him, utilizing the facility's monitored phone system to talk day in and day out. Even though they were supposed to be out of each other's lives, The gravity of their past pulled them back together for one final encounter. In the early morning hours of November 1st, 2024, Ashanti and Bernell decided to meet up. They were sitting together in a parked car near 87th and Carmen Avenue on Milwaukee's northwest side. It was just after 1 a.m., under the cover of darkness, when the unthinkable happened. According to what Ashanti initially told authorities, the moment they stepped out of the vehicle, two masked men suddenly emerged from the shadows. She claimed these men ambushed them, forcing them onto the ground and demanding they empty their pockets for a robbery. Ashanti claimed she panicked, ran away, and heard a single loud pop echoing through the night before the men fled into the darkness. When emergency responders arrived at the scene around 1:20 a.m., they found Bernell on the ground. He had suffered multiple severe injuries to his head, and sadly, he was pronounced gone right there at the scene. Strangely, 3 shell casings were found nearby, and Bernell still had cash sitting right in his hand. The news traveled fast. Bernell's sister rushed to the scene only to be met by yellow police tape, realizing instantly that her brother was gone. But right away, the family noticed something deeply unsettling. When Bernell's sister confronted Ashanti at the scene to ask what happened, she didn't see a grieving ex-girlfriend. Instead, Bernell's sister recalled Ashanti having an incredibly cold, dark, evil look on her face, showing absolutely no remorse or emotion whatsoever. When investigators began asking questions, the pieces of the story simply didn't fit. Case documents pointed out the obvious. Why would masked men conduct a robbery, take absolutely no cash from the victim's hands, and leave Ashanti completely untouched without a single scratch? It felt entirely staged. The breakthrough in the investigation happened almost immediately. On the very same day of the incident, tech-savvy investigators ran Ashanti's phone number through the county jail database, and they hit an absolute goldmine. They uncovered a series of recorded phone calls between Ashanti and her incarcerated boyfriend, leading right up to the tragedy. Because she knew the lines were monitored, Ashanti tried to speak in riddles, but her coded language was glaringly obvious. October 28th, she told her boyfriend, "Baby daddy, boom pop boom." October 29th, she bragged that she got a cat to take care of the rat. October 31st, just hours before the meetup, she promised it's going to happen real soon, adding that she was trying to get someone put on the floor. November 1st, roughly 12 hours after Bernell lost his life, she called the inmate back saying people suspected her and that she felt bad. When the inmate replied, "That's what you wanted," Ashanti snapped back asking him, "Why would you say something like that on a recorded line?" When detectives formally interviewed her on December 30th and played the audio, Ashanti completely fumbled her words, unable to explain what else those codes could possibly mean. In April 2025, facing an undeniable mountain of electronic and audio evidence, Ashanti Davis entered a plea of no contest to the charge of solicitation of first-degree intentional hit. Her final day of reckoning came on Wednesday, June 25th. In the courtroom, Bernell's mother spoke out, stating her son was ambushed and betrayed by someone he trusted. Ashanti's defense attorney accused Bernell of putting hands on Ashanti during their relationship. Ashanti's defense attorney also argued she had faced years of personal hardships, substance use, and mental struggles. Ashanti had this to say during her sentencing.
I apologize. I would take accountability as a grown woman. I just want to say I'm sorry to the family.
A Milwaukee County Circuit Court judge didn't hold back, calling her a core part of the conspiracy. The judge sentenced Ashanti to the maximum of 7.5 years in prison, followed by 5 years of extended supervision. While Ashanti sits behind bars, the authorities admit this case isn't fully closed. The official investigation into the two masked individuals who actually carried out the deed is still ongoing, involving deeply technical tracking of cell phone locations and data. At the end of the day, a family is left picking up the pieces. Bernell Hall was a man who loved his family and was excited to welcome a new life into this world. May he rest in peace. We send our deepest, most sincerest condolences to his mother, his children, his girlfriend, and everyone who loved him. Now I want to hear from y'all, fam. What do you think about this case? Do you believe investigators got it right? How much weight should be placed on those recorded jail calls? Do you think the conversation clearly pointed toward a planned setup? What do you think was the ultimate breaking point for Ashanti, if so? Do you think justice was truly served with a 7.5 year sentence for setting something this severe into motion? Or do you think there are still unanswered questions? This case really makes you stop and think about the terrifying reality of toxic relationships. It raises so many questions about human nature. How does a person go from wanting to start a family with someone to completely orchestrating their downfall? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation respectful. All right, fam, that's it for this episode of Hood Tales. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, consider liking and sharing. Subscribe for more stories like this. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 times. Until next time.